Session 5, project by Christy Barron, Colorado Christian University, Michael Young, February 12th, 2022. In week 1, we learned the importance of words. Language provides the rails on which thoughts ride. The words we use and how we use them matter immensely because they shape the way we perceive the world and participate within it. In Psalms 19:14 we read, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and redeemer." How we use our words in the medical field should glorify the Lord, keeping in mind they can speak life or death. The way we use our words can contribute to medical errors. Rushed documentation, minimal details, incorrect terminology. These are just a few of the way our words or lack thereof can bring about disastrous outcomes in the medical field. So what can we do to prevent medical errors in our documentation? Be sure of the correct terminology and spelling. If you don't know something, ask. Document all the details, even if it seems unimportant. Document. The bottom line in the medical field is this: if it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Over-document. Be sure the details and work as a team. Patients deserve the best care, and we have to be on our A game every time we treat a patient to avoid mistakes that could harm them. I learned how simple mistakes can mean the difference between life and death. In week 2, we learned that the health of our soul is related to our body. Joyce Meyer states, "Whatever is in our soul works its way out of us through the body. Compassion and love for others must be on the inside to be the most effective caregiver in the medical field." We explored our own strengths and weaknesses this week. Do we have what it takes to be in leadership? Are we humble and kind? Do we have the confidence in our ability and knowledge? We also explored and reviewed the importance of why and how we document. I learned that I have many strengths, but also weaknesses that I have to work on to be the best leader I can be. Learning to not overthink situations or conversations can be something that I will work on. There was great discussion on documentation this week in class as well. The personal reflection was enlightening and reviewed areas that I need to work on. Week 3 challenged me to take a deeper look at how I would respond to the public health crisis of chronic diseases. How would Jesus respond? The answer for me is found in Acts 20:35 and Romans 15:1 and 2. "In all things I have shown you that by working hard in this way, we must help the weak and remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he himself said, 'It is more blessed to give than to receive.'" In Romans 15:1 and 2, we who are strong have an obligation to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. Let each of us please his neighbor for his good to build him up. We were also tasked to give our honest thoughts on a very dicey scenario where a nurse had a choice to make. For that assignment, I put on my nursing shoes and thought through how I would respond. Bottom line is, do my choices please God even when no one is looking? Galatians 1:10 reminds us who we are pleasing, which makes the choice to be ethical or not very clear. For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, would I not be a servant of Christ? It must have been such an internal battle because no one knew but her, but I thought about what decision I would have to come to and why. So in week 4, we had the opportunity to gain clarity from our classmates on anything that was still unclear. Sometimes our best resource for information is those around us. Each of us sees the world from different lenses and viewpoints. Healthcare delivery is fundamentally a collaborative process that bridges the different knowledge of several professionals working together. The most exciting assignment happened in week 4. We got to interview an administrator, doctor, or nurse. I had the privilege to interview my boss, the COO of our hospital. Those that are in leadership roles can teach us a lot about what it takes to run departments, lead employees, and become respectable leaders in healthcare. I learned that to become an effective leader, I first had to learn how to be a servant leader. Humble and kind, a good listener, and a supportive leader who values her employees, to name a few. I gained insight into what it becomes a great leader. I learned that caring for employees and valuing them and not being afraid to jump in when needed makes a great leader. Our discussion this week gave us the chance to talk about how this course has changed our perception of medical terminology. This class was a good reminder to all of us about the importance of correct terminology. I enjoyed all the material and discussions. So what did I learn? To be an asset in my organization, I learned that I want to strive to be a servant leader, to make my employees feel valued and seen, to take the time to always encourage, continue learning always, strive to improve my leadership skills, and to keep in mind the importance of medical terminology. I believe as a leader, if you take good care of your employees, they will take better care of patients. Thank you.